This is A Who All Gonna Be Their podcast, a place where you get to be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kiki with A Who All Gonna Be Their podcast, the place where you get to become an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat. This is a special Friendsgiving episode, season 5, episode 9. In the studio today, we have Eric, we have Tracy, we have Jash, we have Eamon, we have Eli, and Josh for our Friendsgiving. How's everybody doing?
We making it.
We out here doing great.
We're here.
Living
in the
life.
building.
We cooking because it's Thanksgiving.
Just looking at these faces, I'm just excited about it because it's been a very long time since we've all been in the same place at the same time talking reality TV.
Mm-hmm. And for our listeners, our new listeners and not viewers, but listeners, the LNC is our main home team where we started from before we branched off and created our podcast. So these are our people. This is the home team.
Not to be confused with that other LNC on Twitter because he be saying some crazy stuff.
Yes.
They're wild. This is the OG.
This is our late night crew, Big Brother the Game. This started during Big Brother the Game, late night crew.
I remember he popped up on my table. I said, LNC, you ain't in the LNC. Who is this?
Right.
Baby, he's saying some crazy stuff.
And now they, I guess from this past season, Big Brother, they have some kind of LNC thing too. Absolutely not. I'm sorry.
No,
we're the OG.
Not affiliated.
At all.
Trademark has already been made.
Listen, now I wish we had t-shirts and websites for it. So
we're going to look into that, huh?
Look, coming soon.
Because we're going to have to start sending a cease and desist to everybody.
Right. ASAPidly.
Not ASAPidly.
Mm-hmm. So.
Well, we have a good lineup for you guys today. We're actually going to start talking Survivor 43. The most recent episode, which was, I believe, is their 10th episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And after that, we're going to go right into Wakanda Forever. And I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting conversation about the movie. So I'm looking forward to that. But first, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to you, Eric, to get us started.
All right. Y'all bear with me because I didn't somehow caught a little cold, viral, respiratory, something. So I got me a little tea here.
Oh, you got your mask on?
I'm not contagious. I went to the doctor.
You don't know that.
I went to the doctor. I did. I went to the doctor. I got tested. Everything. I'm good. So
the doctor was lying. He don't know.
It was a she. Look at you. Misogynistic.
Oh.
Why the doctor can be a she?
They were lying.
I'm cracking up. All right. So we
know her pronouns. Let me quit. We're going all night.
So we're coming off of a very, like we said last week, a frustrating episode when we saw both James and Ryan be voted off, and we didn't like that. We didn't like it at all. And I kind of mentioned it, and I talked about it. I was like, I feel like Carla should have told James. I feel like she should have said something so he could use the knowledge as power. Take Noel, still a vote, flip the thing in their favor. And as we progress through this episode, I think I was low-key right, and y'all can share your thoughts on if she should have done that, seeing as the position that she's in now. So we're coming off of that vote, and everybody's talking. Carla's saying, she's telling it, oh yeah, I just went along with it, and all this happened, and Ryan's gone because Cassidy wanted him out, and he was coming for her. And then we have Jesse. He's talking about, okay, we got rid of one of Carla's numbers, and Carla thinks she's slick, but I know she got an idol. So I'm like, dang, they know she got the idol. So she just sitting on it, and everybody know about it. He said they know. So the one trick she had up her sleeve, don't really have it there. And then we immediately get to the reward challenge. And they have up for grabs. Look, they got pizza, they got cheesecake, they got the beer, they got the juice, they got all of this stuff flowing for whenever somebody wins and they get to take. I don't know why. First,
what was the name of the thing where they go? The little island thing that they get to go to?
It was the sanctuary.
The sanctuary. All right.
I wanna be. I was gonna go to another song, but we're gonna move right along. So it's a nice reward. Now we finally got, and I feel like a reward that's fit for the stuff they go through. So for this challenge, they got to spin around on the little thing, kind of like the ballerina on Big Brother. They spinning around on this little thing. They got to do that till they can draw their little buoy line across the finish line. Once they get that done, they crawl over this net. And once they get over the net, they have to grab these bean bags off of this balance beam. And now I'm looking at this balance. Everybody's getting through. And Noelle gets on top of it. I'm like, no. Why they get this challenge? They know she can't do this challenge. They know she can't do this challenge. Because how it was just watching her fall several times, just back to back, and everybody just getting through. And here she the last one. Every time she tried, she's falling. Because I know me. And if that was me, I'm like, y'all wrong. I would have told Jeff. Now, how y'all expect me to get up on this thing and get across this beam? And
baby, the way I would have sat down.
Honey, at the net. Because when she got to that darn net, I'm like, is her leg gonna go through the net? Like, it was just so much that I was concerned
about. Yes, I was concerned. And so everybody's trying. So once everybody else, they get across, she finally gets through. I'm proud of her. She made it through. She teeter-tottered and she got over there. So they got to throw these bean bags and try to land it on the post. And everybody's failing. And lo and behold, Noelle, after 2 shots, well, from what they've shown us, it took her 2.5 tries, and she gets it, sinks it, and wins the reward challenge. What y'all thought about that?
Now I need to know how long people were throwing them bean bags, because they were
That's
up
what
there
I'm saying.
10, 15 minutes or so. How could one person get it in 10 to 15 minutes? That's what it felt like.
It felt like she was going through that little net pole, whatever she was climbing across for 45 minutes. And I said, I was over there putting my little cornbread in the oven, and I turned around like, oh, she
next thing you know, congratulations, Noelle.
Shoot.
But how I know she was about to win though? Because the focus was so much on her that I'm like, this girl finna win this.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I already know.
They do that sometimes, but it's still impressive that like this is probably one of the biggest come from behind victories in Survivor history. The last prominent one being Cass back in season 28, the final 4, where she was like dead in the water and all of a sudden came back and like beat the puzzle and won. I was like, okay, you doing your thing. Like you never out of it.
That's good.
I guess they're right when they say that last leg of those challenges really is the neutralizer for is really anybody's game into that.
Yeah, point. It really is.
Yeah. I'm just glad it wasn't no darn puzzle though, because they puzzled us out this first half.
I'm puzzles.
Right.
Now I'm upset that they spoiled one of their biggest moments. Like I feel like through the previously or next episode on Survivor last week, they said, oh, Noelle, all the commercials. Oh, Noelle, she's
did they? Damn.
And I feel like if they didn't do anything, left it just in the episode, I would have been more shocked because I assumed that she was gonna win based off commercials.
See, I wasn't even watching no commercials.
It's almost weird. It's almost like the person who they start talking about becomes always ends up winning something though. Because think about it. Remember a couple weeks back, wasn't it Owen? They're like, Owen. we need to get Owen. Then Owen wins, whatever. They talked about before leading up to it. Oh, Noelle, Okay, Noelle ended up winning it wasn't the immunity, but she still ended up winning something to the point where it's like, oh shoot, she about to stay in the game or whatever it is. And I don't want to get too far ahead, but I have some excitement for later on.
Okay. And so we have that. So she gets to choose. This is what I was going to say. I don't know why Jeff in the beginning always says, oh, you get to go on the reward and take one person with you. And then
more than one always.
He's like, okay, choose somebody to go with you. She chooses.
I got comments.
So the first person she chooses is Owen? Who she choose first? Jesse or Owen?
Jesse.
Anyway, she chose Jesse, and he's like, choose one more, thinking this is gonna be it. So then she chooses Sammy, and then she take another person. She chooses Owen. So she took all the men's with her to go on this dinner.
Now, why? We've been watching this show 47 years now, right? This season started in 2013. And you see all these women going back to back. Now, even if I didn't have a relationship, okay? Even if I didn't have a relationship with these women, one of y'all at least would have went. At least one.
Yes.
Because how you pick one man, and then you picked another man, and then you picked the third man's. What is you doing, sis? And then...
And when she got there, her main target was who? A woman. The women.
Of course.
Carla and Cassidy.
And then let me this whole situation it pissed me off. And then when they actually got to their little challenge where they was eating their little food, I can't remember who it was that brought it up. It's like, oh yeah, it'd be good if all of us got together with Gabler and so and so.
Sammy.
I'm sitting like, okay, Noelle, the woman. These people are making an alliance with 4 men and 1 woman. Okay. Now, of course, chances are maybe they go for somebody else. If y'all ended up making it to the final 5, maybe they get rid of one of the guys, or maybe they be like, "Well, we only got 1 woman left. Let's get rid of her first." Why would you do that, Eric? Why? Why should you do that?
Don't ask me. Ask me. Look, what y'all got to say
ask
about it?
Josh, ask Josh, ask
Amy,
ask Eli.
I don't know what it is.
A mess.
Yes, definitely a mess.
But
there's just something about these women that always think they need to cater to men, at least mostly in recent seasons.
For sure.
Because baby, this is your day.
That is not how the song go.
I don't know what it is, because like even in the beginning in the game, everyone's like, we gotta keep the tribe strong, we gotta keep the tribe strong. That's what led to like the first vote when Mariah left, when they should have got Gabler's behind out and flushed his idol. Seeing how chaotic he has been, even though they said, "Oh, Mariah was this," she was like, "We want tribe strength." She did better the challenge than half of y'all. So what's the tea on that?
Listen, and did
exactly. So it's just like I don't know what it is, but like these recent seasons have very much been favoring the men that they don't deserve, because it's not like they're doing anything in particular that a woman cannot do. I think they just need to maybe cast more stronger women in general.
But hey, we had 2 back-to-back winners that were women. Yes. They pulled out, they beat the odds.
No, I just mean like overall, like
wait, who won last season?
Marianne.
Yes.
Who won the one before that?
Erica.
Oh, I don't be counting her. Go ahead.
I just think I think overall like we just don't see people like Parvati. We don't see people like Suri. We haven't had those kind of caliber like cutthroat.
I need strong-willed women.
You don't think Carla is somewhere in between those?
No,
people?
I think she is. No. I think she's the only one on the
I think so. I think she's the strongest woman on the show, like as in strategy. Go ahead, Eric.
Choose me.
Go ahead, Eric.
She was up until last week, like I said, because we seen, and I don't mind going a little bit ahead because we'll catch back up, is she found herself on the chopping block for the first time. She also mentioned this is the first time that I've been left out of a vote, like from last week's vote. Like they were going to leave her out had Sammy not came to her 10 minutes before. And this week she was the primary target because they know she got the idol, so they were going to split between her and Cassidy. And so I think she lost her strength when she allowed her ally to go. Like normally, if you're gonna be a strong-willed woman, you got to make sure you keeping everything for your benefit, not somebody else's benefit. And she misplayed, I believe, and I can see it on her face, the worry on her face for her to finally feel worried in this game. You lost your best ally when you didn't have to, and so she was strong-willed up until, and she hasn't given up. No, don't get me wrong, she ain't gave up because she's still here. Praise be.
What were you about to say, Josh?
I was just going to say, I wanted to let Eric finish his point before I provided my.
Oh, I'm done. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think if Carla had tipped off James and he used his knowledge as power advantage, I feel like that would put an even bigger target on Carla, to the point where this week they would have tried to make a move on her. They would have tried to blindside her, and like no one would have came and actively tried to like counteract that, say, oh, we're going to flip it on Noelle. Oh, we can potentially throw it on Sammy. I feel like if she had done that, she elevates her threat level even higher. And sometimes in the game of Survivor, you can't have everything go your way. Sometimes you just have to go and cut your losses and then adapt. Because I honestly feel like after this, I feel like Carla's kind of in a better situation now, because like that group came around to protect her. And I feel like now she has a little bit more agency now that she's kind of been knocked down a couple pegs. And now that, yes, people know she has an idol, but now it's top 7. So like either she wins immunity or she plays an idol. She's safe. And then at a certain point, it's all about, winning immunity.
And there's a huge duo out there. And it seems like they know. I don't want to jump ahead, but they try to throw a little twist to the audience at the end when discussing what they want to do after they show Jesse's little how to do a blindside thing. They had Gabler saying, hey, there's a duo. You got to think about it. So I think Carla might be in a decent position, but
And I'm gonna get back to Gabler just real quick, just responding to the Carla thing. I think honestly, I can see that. That sometimes you do have to cut your losses. I just personally wouldn't have liked to see it because I'm thinking in terms of numbers, her, James, and Cassidy are a voting block, and it would be nothing to pull in a Gabler because he is playing the middle type of vote, and they would give them basically control over the votes. And so that's where my line of thinking was. And I feel like James will still be a target ahead of Carla just because that's what they wanted. But I can also see like now with how everything has shifted with this big duo of Cody and Jesse still here and sitting as prime targets. Hopefully, I don't know why nobody has mentioned them to, get separated except for Gabler when he brought it up. Like they run this show, and I'm proud of Gabler. Like I was never a fan of Gabler from when this game started, but the man is sitting on a big comfy couch, snug in the middle of this game, and he is playing the wheels off of the game. And I'm going with Kiki. She's projecting him to go to the end and win it if they don't get rid of him. And now I'm a true believer that if they don't start looking at him, and nobody's looking at him now, Gabler gonna end up winning this game. We're gonna look up, and he gonna win this game almost unanimously because he is playing near flawlessly. He done got out his primary targets. He's sitting out making moves. He's flipping the vote. He's doing what he needs to do, and I'm proud of it. Honestly,
no, I definitely hear you, Eric. Because I agree with you. I was never a Gabler fan. I still stand on the fact they should have voted him out numero uno.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel like this cast, we have a lot of people here that are trying to play the middle, so to speak.
Mm.
We have a lot of people that want to be able to go. We have Sam.
Yep, that's what it is.
A lot of
everybody
want
to be in the middle
back and forth. Whereas Gabler, he just seems to be kind of like more like a free agent as opposed to someone who's playing the middle. And there is a difference in this distinction between the two. And I feel like with him, he's always just like the extra vote. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with you being the extra vote, people don't put you in as much fault as opposed to the people that are kind of flip-flopping back and forth.
Like Sammy, because he got caught up. They know him. He's a flip-flopper. They said it multiple times this episode. Sammy is a flip-flopper. I'm like, oh, now he got caught. Because Sammy, I was saying, Sammy was playing probably the best game up until this point. Because I was like, how he keep being on the right side of the vote? Nobody's suspecting him. He's
every week.
Power every week. But he got caught up last week with that whole Carla stunt. And so he's a little more exposed. So his game then went down a peg or 2 or 3 or 4 for me.
You know what I'm wondering? Based upon what Josh was just talking about Gabler being like an extra vote, that's putting him in a power seat. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if that's intentional for him. Because I don't think we've heard enough of his strategy. We just see some of his actions, right? But I want to know like the thought behind this. Like, did he come in here wanting to play as this extra vote every time to put himself in the power seat, or are they just excluding him and seeing him as just, oh, this is just this old man that will take care of him later?
Well, I'll say that recently in the past couple seasons, I don't really think that they've shown, except for at the end with Marianne, I don't really think that they've done enough with the editing to show like the winner's thought processes. Because, like, Tracy not a big fan of Erica, and I think a big part of that is due to the fact that we did not see a lot of Erica's thought process, even in 100% the reason. Mm-hmm. And like at the end, like people were in up with the other, what's the old girl that she was with? That apparently Heather. Heather. Everyone was saying that apparently they were a big power duo. I'm just like, where?
Right.
Yeah,
because Heather set out half the challenges. Plus,
listen, she shot out 66% of them challenges, child.
Exactly.
Not even half.
I just feel like they haven't done enough job of like showing his strategy and like in his own words and giving him confessions for doing too many sob stories. In my opinion.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. Oh, I'm so tired of these goddamn. Come on, we know. Put the sob in the. I say this. I feel like we say this every other episode. I know I do. Put all that sob mess in the beginning of the episode. Like, put it in the first one. Sure, you ain't got to bring it up and iterate it every other episode.
Unless it's important to the story of the game. Like I said, mention
I don't even want to hear it then, Eric.
Let people's game do the talking. Let the game do the talking.
Yes.
I don't care for stories. But like I said, when Owen was able to tie it to the game, it made sense. But if you just give me a side story just to hear it, I really don't care. And I don't know if it's just me, but when they read these little letters from home, I'll be like, that don't move me. That don't move me at all.
This is my first time seeing my dad say "I love you" in his handwriting. I'm like,
our emotions make sense. Most of the other stuff that happened between episodes, I think most of the stuff will stop at episode 3 at the latest. 3 on till now, like
it's too long.
Like we need to know the strategy because there's been moves that have been made.
Yes,
outcomes that have happened at tribal council. I was like, how did y'all get there? From what y'all showed us in the edit,
give a strategy, man. We already have a limited amount of time. Why are y'all wasting time on? We know Noelle. We know she ain't got a leg. We know. More power to her. Like you did the thing, girl. You've overcome. But we already know this. Yeah. Come on, show us some strategy. Show us what she's thinking in the process. You know.
And I think going back to Kiki's original thing, like I don't know if this was Gabler's intention, but he did clarify after he gave that whole soliloquy about who he's thankful for and why he's still in the challenge and how he won the challenge. After that, he did was like, listen, I made my big move and now I'm like an alligator or a crocodile. He said one of them, and I'm going back under the surface. I'm just going to keep my eyes above and just move through the game.
So he had some intention behind this.
Okay, Gabe. See that you pair it together and fit into your strategy towards the game. I'm all for.
And he mentioned this episode, I believe, he was like, he recognizes his position. That's what a lot of people's problem in these games. They don't ever recognize, but he recognizes that he's in the middle, the true middle, and not flip-flopping and that he, like Josh mentioned too, that he's that extra vote that everybody's coming to him thinking that they have him. Everybody think they got Gabler in their back pocket and they don't.
Mm-hmm, Look, can I tell you the one thing I do like about Gabler?
Messy.
The one thing, he messy for sure. But the one thing I feel like, and I would probably play a game if I ever did Survivor, which I ain't, because it'd be dirty and cold and wet. Anyways, if I ever did, he really just don't care. Like he is willing to let anybody go. He's like, and you can see him thinking, he's like, even when like tonight when they was talking about Noelle, he was just like, and I could see the wheels turning, like, let me see how this helps my game. It wasn't, but she's my friend. Gabler don't care. Y'all know y'all.
Yeah, he's definitely taking emotion out of his game decision.
And I need to see more Gablers going forward. But yeah,
and I love
could care less about these people.
Right. He let Jesse give out the detailed plan. He's like, okay, Jesse has his little plan. He said, but I'm not really sure about that. He said, now I see Jesse and Cody. They're a power duo. Eli mentioned, and he went to Carla and was like, listen, they sitting right here. They sitting right here. And even before then, when he was over here talking to Carla and Cassidy about getting Noelle, he didn't ran himself back over and sat down next to Noelle. They looking at you, girl. Right. Looking at you. Right. And so it's like, this man he's playing. I gotta give him his credit.
Yes.
No, I feel like.
Go ahead, Josh.
I was gonna say, I feel like Gabler is in a really great spot, but I think someone else who is kind of low key also in a good spot is Jesse.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like
we'll talk about it.
He just needs to stop talking about jail.
Yeah,
getting on my nerves.
Because I done heard this darn jail story about 3-4 times now. I ain't gonna hold you. But I wanted to say this really quickly before you, Eric, before you go into like the immunity challenge and things. And I mentioned it probably a couple episodes back, but I wanted to mention it since we have a new panel here. I was reading somewhere regarding production. Typically production was editing from the end of the show's perspective. And this go around, they're editing, allegedly, they're editing as the show goes along. So they're editing according to what's happening right now in the game. So it's really not giving us, I think that's why we're running into this issue of not really knowing who's going to win. Or
because we still haven't got a spoiler. Because normally by now we know who the winner is and we have no clue.
And so they're trying this whole thing and it's like, it makes it hard to, I don't know. It
makes it easier to not give out the spoiler of who wins, but it messes up the edit because even if it comes down to a winner, say the winner is, Owen. What? You can literally only point out so many things he's done in the game, or say it's Jesse, whoever it is. The story doesn't line up throughout the season to be like, it's going to be like an Erica situation.
And it makes me wonder if that's
what
how they edited hers.
Yeah.
If you said it, that makes sense because it feels like every week is so chaotic, and I feel like we kind of get a view of like how the players are. That things are constantly shifting, and things don't always make sense. So I feel like kind of feels like you're kind of in the game in a way from at home, because nothing. If you say like you get blindsided travel cancel, I didn't see that coming. When they talk about that plan, I know they kind of one person mentioned it for like 15 seconds in the confessional. How this end up being the actual plan? Who they talk to about it, how they pull it off, like.
So we get to feel like the players are feeling in the game during that moment.
It's kind of giving reminiscence to that, because like we're all here confused week to week, like what's going to happen. So are the players confused what happened from round to round?
That's a good point.
But it just that's actually, we never thought about that. I just think it just sucks for us as viewers, because this season it's just been so hard to attach to. It's been so hard, and with this day by day storytelling that they've given us, it's just we can't really connect to it. We can't really root for nobody. Like normally by this time we like, all right, this is who we feel like is,
we see a clear winner by now. Yeah,
or two.
It ain't clear.
No, I get you, Eric, because like for me, I just got caught up on like the last 2 episodes like a couple days ago, because normally Survivor's must watch TV for me, but like I ain't been able to connect to like nobody. Like I've been kind of rooting for Carla a little bit. She's the person I've been rooting for the most, but that ain't saying much. But like, and kind of rooting for Cody a little bit, because he was kind of chaotic, and I was kind of living for him like just this much a little bit in the beginning.
Just a smidge.
We don't like Cody over here. He anti-black.
Oh,
we don't like him.
Like I said,
Not you.
In the beginning.
You had Josh muted in his tracks, child. He said, we don't
just say
get somebody else to get somebody else to do it. We don't do that.
Like I said, it came and it left real quick.
But honestly, go ahead, Josh.
Now I was gonna say, like, I feel like it hasn't been much. I haven't been able to connect to anybody. So like, I was like, I watched the shows like I don't really care who go, because I'm low-key rooting against all these people.
that is like, well, you go home, you go home.
Not going to send everybody else home.
There's no winner this season. The storm did knock the whole island out. It's over. Everybody pack your bags, go home. But honestly, though, I will say to your point about Cody, I don't care for him. Never have, never will. But I don't see why they ain't looking at him. Nobody's mentioned his name. Did y'all not see this man win the last week's freaking immunity and come in second place back to back in the other 2 immunity challenges, and nobody's whispering his name? And he's gonna win this next challenge, this hold your breath challenge that they showed previews to, because I feel like he gonna win it, and then they're gonna be looking stupid because he gonna win his little way right on to the end. They don't
shout out Mahalo or whatever he be saying,
right? Because don't he surf? He surfed, don't he? So he probably know how to hold his breath.
You talking about Gabler?
No, Cody.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be what they get, because they should have been trying to get him out a long time ago.
But
anyways, moving on to this immunity challenge. I almost forgot what it was. But
taking the cards.
Yes. So at first, when they were showing it with the camera view from like above, I was like, "Not they got another balance beam." I said, "Didn't they just have this woman?" I'm thinking of Noelle getting this leg. She just have to go over this balance beam? She got another balance beam to cross over. But it had nothing to do with your leg. So you have to hold your balance, keep your board still with this hand over here, and then move these little chips like Tree said, and stack the card chips in, stack them up till you get to a point to the arrow that is pointing to. And so they all stack and everybody's stuff is falling. And then Cassidy and Carla are pretty much whooping everybody. Come on. I'm like, come on, ladies, stepping up and killing it. And there's here go Jeff running his mouth. Oh, look at Carla and Cassidy. They getting close. Which one would do it? Well, hopefully they don't let it fall. And then they still fall.
I swear he be making it fall. He do. Just be quiet.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, I feel like they should edit in him yelling stuff in post-production. Don't
exactly.
Say it
right.
Because you're distracting me, Jeff.
Yeah.
Like I'm one card away from a victory, and here you go.
And the next thing I know, will this be the next card to get it? And my stuff fall. Oh, nope, it falls. It's anybody's game still. What? If you would just shut up, I could focus. They can't focus for him. And so they stuff fall, and here goes Sammy and Noelle catching back up. I'm like, now one of them win because you ran your mouth. And Jinx and Cassidy and Carla, the ones who need it most, I'm gonna be pissed. And so now it's a race between all 4 of them. And Carla is, a hair length away, her stuff fall. And then Cassidy This probably me and probably some of y'all too. She's like, "Is this enough room, Jeff? Am I done yet?" Because she was getting close, but she wasn't quite to
Look, if you was done, Jeff would have told you was done. Keep stacking, baby.
And he was like, "Nope, that's not close enough. Keep going." And so she just keeps stacking sideways, horizontally, keep stacking it. And she finally gets it, and Cassidy wins immunity. So shout out to Cassidy, because she needed it, because her behind was going home if she didn't. And so now I'm kind of worried at this point. I'm like, oh God, Carla gonna have to use this idol because these folks is coming for her. And so they get back to the camp, and it's chaos because they don't know what to do, because they thought they had this vote sold up, wrapped up, done in the bag with Cassidy going home. But since she's won, they're like, okay, who we got to pivot to get Carla out? So Jesse starts thinking that it's time to blindside Noel. And Eli hinted to it that he had this elaborate, and they went through the whole plan. It almost made me think he was going to get his behind sent home. Step one, in order for a blindside to happen, you have to have a cover story, right? And throw somebody under the bus. And the fall guy was Sammy. So he started talking about, oh, Sammy, this and that. And so we need to put little votes on him and throw it on Carla just in case there's an immunity idol and Sammy go home and we ain't got to worry about it. And Noel's like, okay, cool. Like, she on board with it. And then he goes to Carla and he tells her, like, this is what's going on. And everybody has what the plan is. And I was kind of getting confused. I'm like, this is too much. So I kind of checked out because I was getting bored with the talk. Do y'all know the rest of the steps 2 and 3?
Step 2 was have the fall guy.
Okay.
And that's when he set up Sammy. And then step 3 was have a backup plan, which was where the plan to do Noel fully came into to fruition when he brought it up to Gabler. And then obviously that he brought it to Carla, and Carla was like, well, I don't want y'all to vote me, so of course I'm gonna go ahead and go with Gabler. I mean, y'all and Gabler to vote Noel.
Okay.
The part that started puzzling me was when they started talking about the duo. Who are the two?
When Gabler brought that up?
It was Gabler and Carla.
Yeah, so at that point, I was thinking, I'm like, okay, so is the plan completely changed now to something else? And I felt like the edit wanted us to think that the plan had changed to like
Cody
who
or Jesse.
are the targets? Cody and Jesse. Or Jesse, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh shoot, we really don't have a clue who the target is at this point.
Because I was like, oh, if they get out Cody or Jesse, I said, if Jesse go home with these 2 idols in his pocket.
I was gonna say, to me, I think, at least for me when I watched it, is given I think the part they left out is like Carla's probably, when Gabriel brought up, Carla was probably given like, yes, I get that, but right now we kind of need them to get through this vote. They're gonna be a tomorrow problem, but let's get through tonight first. That's the kind of vibe I was getting from that where that conversation left off. I feel like I've been synced with. So Carla.
they were setting us up for the next episode, essentially.
They got to use these idols for 5, right?
Yeah, Final 5 is the last time to use it. That's why I was mentioning, in our little pod chat, I was saying that at this point, Jesse is sitting pretty till he's guaranteed if he were to use it, if he needed to use his idol back to back, he is guaranteed Final 5 at this point because he has 2 idols. He don't have to give Cody's back because he gave it to him, and he has baby Janine's idol that nobody knows he has. So he's guaranteed Final 5.
We had 7, right? Is 7 people left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man, the way that I would use the next tribal council, and then I would assume people would try to come for me, and then bam, use it the next week, and then use that to be like to get your main target out. If I go, I go, and then I drop that other idol on him.
I would try to make it one more week just so I can make it to Final 4. Guaranteed
I don't want to use both of them. I like chaos.
That's what I'm saying. So like, if he makes it to Final 6, I wouldn't chill. I'd be chilling in the next challenge.
We can use it at 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he had to use it at 7 and 6 and can't use it at 5.
No,
okay. Yeah. Okay, I would too. Yeah.
So come Final 6, I'm in the Final 6. I'm like, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'll see y'all at Final 4.
Baby, I would have been on that. I would have been minding my business, eating the coconut.
And Cody would be like, "What are you talking about? Oh yeah, the idol that you gave me, I'm keeping it." But and also, we probably go ahead.
You gotta give me no idol. I'm giving back.
But also, like, I feel like he has the opportunity to also make big moves with his idols because of the fact that, remember, one of the key points for Marianne's game last season is the fact that she had that idol and told nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah, so the fact that if somehow he goes and wins immunity, he goes on an immunity run, and he never has to use that second idol, and he can pull it out of his bag at Final Tribal Council and be like, look, I was able to finesse it. This is Janine's idol. And that would be a major resume boost.
I'd use it on my ally.
Yeah, but I would get Cody out because he can't beat Cody in no challenge.
That's what I'm saying. And you know what I would do? 100%, I would get Cody out. But like, I got Cody's idol and kicked him out the door.
He better pull a raggedy
and
card.
Better use that during your speech for real.
I took out my best ally.
Yep.
My closest ally.
Yep.
It had to be done. I couldn't beat you. And I used your idol to do it.
What? And why do y'all think he hasn't asked for it back yet? That's weird.
He got too much trust in that man.
Sure.
You can't trust nobody that's been the prick. Now just play it.
He tripping.
Who went home tonight?
So yeah, they had this a long tribal camp going this roundabout conversation. I was like, y'all talking too much for me. I would think something is up if I'm sitting there and y'all doing these metaphors and all these roundabout answers. Something is about to happen. And so my antennas will be going off if I know I'm in the hot seat. But anyways, the vote came out and Miss Noelle was sent packing, blindsided, and that James Karma came back and snatched her out the game so fast. She didn't know what to do with it. All she can do is say, I love you guys. Go sit next to James because you thought you did something last week. So that's where we're at, y'all. Final 7. And yeah.
So what's happening in the previews next week? We already know the challenge is definitely gonna be that little water. I couldn't do it.
Listen, I would be so scared out of my life.
I don't know why I made them sounds, folks. That was unnecessary.
That sound was so accurate. Sorry.
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either.
So look, before we move to our Black Panther conversation, I wanted to ask. Okay, I'm looking at Amen, and he has this smile plastered on his face, and I'm like, is this a picture that you have on here? Or are you really smiling this entire episode?
You just cheesing.
But I want to know everyone's winner picks. So we talk about our winner picks all the time and we speculate. But Eli, Amen, Josh, who are your winner picks? If you haven't been watching Survivor, child, clearly you don't have a dog in the fight.
Josh gonna say Beyonce.
Well, let me just say pretty much since episode 3, all my Survivor coverage has been covered by you guys. Let's just say I've been too lazy to watch. But based off your guys' coverage in this episode that I watched, I don't know. I think Sammy's back in a decent position. I think there's 2 big heads right now with Cody and Jesse. People know Carla's a threat. Mm-hmm. And then if he can slip to 5 or 4, he seems like the type that can comp out. I just don't know if he'd have a speech. He'd be like the surfer dude from last season, whatever his name was.
Xander?
Xander? Yeah. 41.
Mm-hmm. Josh, who you got?
It's really tricky with this editing.
Yeah.
Because everyone seems like they have are part of like some big move that they can put on their resume. But I'm still going to hold on to the one person I've been semi-rooting for this season. I'm just going to root for Carla. And I think that with her losing James, that kind of lowered her threat level, just a threat level enough to let other threats emerge so that she can kind of skate on by just a little bit longer.
Come on, your Survivor commentator. You sounded like you were commentating like a basketball game just now. Amen, do you have a winner pick?
I do. I actually watched the most recent, not today's episode because I was gonna wait till midnight, but pretty much watched it listening to y'all. So I'm okay with the spoilers. But I think Carla as well. I think Carla is probably like the more, I don't know, she's
not Eric shaking his head no
power, but I don't know. I like Carla. She has her septum pierced too, so maybe that's why. But there's not really anyone that I like want to win, to be honest. It's just kind of like hurry up and like shows the preview for the next season because something didn't work out with this season.
Yeah, we're on that same page too, Chad. We ready to move right along.
I didn't lost faith in Carla. I'm sorry.
I love last week really put a taste in my mouth as well.
She honestly, that tribal pissed me off. She should have told James. She should have told James, because James would have been on fire knowing that they were targeting him, and he would have been that sword for Carla and let Carla sit back. But now Carla had to expose herself. And Noelle, whatever she thought she was doing, she thought about it on her way next to James, I'm sure.
And that's a good point, Amy, because I'm thinking she should have told James. And what if she gets the final 2 and James is like the freaking swing vote for the win?
And shorty, I would swing the opposite way.
Listen,
I'm that petty.
Because I would be a bitter juror.
Sorry. I'm like, well, Carla, I told Carla you was going home, James.
Listen,
if I'm Sammy,
smart, I would have. Like, she knew you was going home, right?
To the jury, yes.
Yep.
And that's why my winner pick is Sammy. Unfortunately, I think he gonna win.
I think I think the person that's gonna win is the one that Eric said that everyone knows his mess and that he's a flip flopper.
Oh, that's what you think,
Sammy?
Yeah,
because
I do like Sammy too.
The only reason why I say this is because in games, like, you're not afraid of the unknown. You know what Sammy doing. Everybody knows that he's a flip flopper. That actually strengthens.
That's true.
That strengthens his position, in my opinion, versus someone where you know who they're after. So like, even me, I probably wouldn't go after Sammy because I'm like, well, he's a flip flopper. There's a chance I can probably flip
his ass to me.
Right.
Right.
Dash at the gate.
Come on.
I like that. I like that.
That's
that
actually
take.
very interesting.
Yeah.
And Kiki, you brought that up.
Josh.
So it's funny that you brought that up, because that may be what happened. Sammy and Carla may be sitting in them final chairs, and she'd be like, well, I know you were buddy with Mr. James here, but why you didn't save him? Why you didn't tell him to plan? Because did I not tell you right before? And then she gonna be stuck. I love Carla, queen. She's queen. But it may come back to bite her.
See, that's my thing. In my opinion, I would love, or let me not even say love because I ain't that attached to this cast, but Carla, Sammy, and Gabler would be my final 3.
Absolutely.
Ideally, and either one of them winning is whatever. Carla did get knocked down a little bit on my list specifically for last week, because that was an ally for her.
Undisputed ally.
Exactly, like he was holding strong and holding true, and he was gonna rock with Carla. And you not even even if she wasn't gonna use her idol, even if she wasn't you should have said something so James can do that work, to hopefully try to stay. That's a guaranteed, most likely vote in the end, and you messed that up. But I'm kind of at the point, whoever win. But the thing is, I would like to see when it gets down to the end. I don't even want to see, sure, I want to know what you did in your game throughout the season, but I would very much love to see the person at the end, the people at the end, cater to, well, I want it messy. He knew this. He knew that. I need you to know that I this, and that. I want it to be messy.
Absolutely.
I'm for a messy final tribal.
100% messy.
We need it.
Speaking of messy.
So that concludes our Survivor coverage.
Okay.
And us, which means Treese is going to take us right into this Wakanda Forever, Black Panther discussion. The panel is open. What?
That's that song. You know how when they be opening up and they do that. That little music. That's what it sounds like in my head.
Who's singing this song? Eric.
On, Eric.
Hold me down.
Oh Lord, now he know the words now.
Oh my God.
Okay, anyways. Spoiler alert.
Josh is not going to be here for this part of the conversation. For those who are sitting here
and
wondering where Josh has gone, he has not watched Black Panther, so we don't want to spoil it for him.
We about to spoil it.
Girl,
I'm not that invested. Go ahead.
We put so many links in the chat.
I'm gonna say I even put But listen, so anyways, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever has come out. We are now at week 2. If you ain't seen it, spoilers coming. Basically, where this film leaves off. Actually, I'm gonna tell y'all. Well, we'll put that at the end. So where this film leads off is, it starts off with Chadwick or T'Challa T'Challa is sick, and they open up the scene, and Shuri is trying to figure out Shuri is trying to figure out how to help her brother. And the queen comes in and says, you know, Chadwick has passed, unfortunately. I keep saying Chadwick, T'Challa, you know, whatever. And so that's pretty much how the story opens up, and it's now the course of who's going to be the Black Panther, who's going to take, you know, be the new king. And that's pretty much where this movie sets off of. Y'all saw it, y'all know the gist of it. That's the synopsis. So I just want to get y'all opinions on the movie. Like, let's just cut right to it. Did y'all love it? Did you hate it? What's
Can
up?
I say something?
What?
So I just want to say, like, the very start of, like, just the very start when they show the Marvel logo and all the.
Oh yes.
Honestly, our theater, I
Automatically
watched it
teared you
Thursday at 6 p.m. Like one of the first people to watch it, and our theater was like dead silent. Like
You
everyone
could hear a
stopped
pin drop.
chewing.
Because it was all just Chadwick Boseman. It wasn't nobody else. It was his little scenes from Black Panther and going through it. Oh,
I ain't gonna hold you. I was so emotional. I'm not a crier at all. Like never. I didn't cry during that scene, but I almost did.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It was.
There were so many times I held back.
That's so beautiful.
I just wanted to say that off the bat, like that was a way to start that movie. Like such an honor.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing for me. The number one thing that I really did love about this film, that a lot of people are talking about with what's his name? Namor? Is that his name? Namor? I feel like I made that up.
No, that's it.
Y'all know I be forgetting names. Look at Amen throwing up these gang signs. Namor. I love that we are seeing more people of color, you know, in a movie that is specifically based off of people of color. One thing I do want to say that I have seen a lot of comments on social media is, why didn't Bucky come? Why didn't so-and-so come?
Where's Avengers? I was going to say that.
Why weren't the Avengers here? Because they wasn't invited. First of all, it's Wakanda, and y'all know everything is sacred, right? They have this whole, you know, sacred thing that they do on many occasions. A lot of time, like literally, the only reason y'all got up in this thing is because we was fighting a war last time. That's it. Have y'all been by Thanksgiving? No. Have y'all been by for Christmas? No. You think we're gonna write you out to a specific ritual when say your condolences like later for T'Challa? But no, this is sacred and this is for our people and our time. And so the big thing, why weren't they invited? Because they didn't even get the invitation. And Queen didn't even announce he was dead until he was already gone. So there's that.
Good and buried.
You're and then descended into the sky. Wherever they put him.
I was wondering, I was like, where are they taking that box?
I don't know. But what was I about to say? The big controversy in this movie, in the beginning, while they were filming, was that Shuri was holding up production. Let me get a little messy here.
Wait a minute. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Alleged. It's alleged. It's allegedly. Anyways, yeah, she was holding up production. She did get hurt. We do know that for sure. And I found out the scene that she got hurt on is the one when they were going across the bridge and she was on the motorcycle. That's apparently where she had got hurt with, which I'm glad she, got past her injuries. But they were also saying that because of COVID, they were making everybody take these vaccinations, and she held up production. Look, y'all know me. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's always stuck in the back of my mind. Of course, I don't know this timeline. They're not going to release that information because, it's Marvel, right? And I know one thing Marvel got is a strong NDA, baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's stuck in the back of my mind that if she didn't hold up this production, if we would have got T'Challa in some of these scenes, if we would have been able to see him at least act in, some kind of aspect for his last film. And that's leaving a small bitter taste in my mouth. Like, I wonder if they had to pause production for 6 months when the production only took a year. Like, we could have got like some of his last acting on film, and we missed that. Now, it could have just been a week she held up, or it could have been a year. I don't know. But that's always been in the back of my mind every time I see her on TV or I see her in the movie. That was my first thought.
I don't know. Watching. Oh, go ahead, Kiki. I was gonna say, like, this movie coming in, like, I love Black Panther and love Chadwick Boseman, everything that he does, and so I was prepared to be emotional. I didn't really get emotional in this movie, surprisingly, and I feel like I'm soft, but it didn't. It was sad and it did evoke emotion, but I just didn't get to that point like a lot of people did. But I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It was probably, for me, better than the first one. I know it's hard to say without without T'Challa being in it, but I thought it was just brilliant. Like, from the comedy to the culture being in it, from the the banter between M'Baku and Okoye, Riri being it just felt so authentic, and Queen Ramonda Angela Bassett just being regal in all her regal glory. It was just I just can't say enough good things about it.
I got a question.
What's up?
Why did the fucking wait, can we curse here? No, my bad. Okay.
You and I did it.
Why did the mermaid people have to go to Wakanda to tell Wakanda to bring them the scientists? Why can't they just go get the scientists themselves?
Because they didn't know who it was.
Oh, I was like, they strong as hell talking about go get Wakanda. I was like, y'all out here, like, what the fuck? What you mean? Y'all got super.
But crazy of them to assume that they knew. But then again, we wouldn't have had a movie.
Right. And also the Wakandans owed them or whatever, because they were the ones that stopped the U.S. from getting vibranium. So they're like, all right, we helped y'all out. Y'all help us out.
True. I forgot about that little aspect.
But see, here's the thing. That's where Namor and his people, they got off on the wrong foot with me, because you came up here, you better go find this scientist, or we gonna have to come up here and jack y'all up type deal, because y'all ain't got no Black Panther no more.
It was giving colonists. I was like, what's okay?
Right. It's giving people of color on Black crime. Okay. You notice I said that because there's a difference. And so I'm like, why didn't you do like, hey, they was trying to get y'all vibranium over here. We stopped them. Somebody built the machine, and there's this scientist. We need to come together, find this scientist, and figure out, we got to stop him. We got to, rather than coming over here with the threats, because he immediately came up sneaking up on somebody in the middle of the night while the queen trying to teach Shuri how to grieve properly, because she hadn't grieved her brother. And you running up on him in the dead of night, like, hold on, bro. Look, I got my spirit out too ready. I don't know where you done came from.
Listen,
get up out of here, sneaking up on me like this. And so, but I was just like, why you have to start off like that? Like, I know you're supposed to be the villain, but I didn't know you was gonna come like that. But I will say, I love that they flushed his character out in his story, because it allowed you to see where he was coming from. I agree. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thought it added so much depth to the story.
The writing, you know what? I have to say this. Oh, go ahead, Eric. You still talking? I just have to say, Ryan Coogler, man, this man. I have seen so many interviews from him over the last couple of days, and the fact that when Chadwick passed, he had to automatically throw out the script. I'm talking about, he wrote this script. This is a completely different script, because he said if Chadwick Boseman was still alive, the way this movie was supposed to pick up at is right after the blip. So this movie was going to open to T'Challa coming back and seeing what he missed over the last 5 years. So the fact that this is a completely different movie, he's like, oh no, like the movie was completely different. Like, I literally, out of nowhere, just took a piece of paper and a pen and just started. And the fact that it was, I feel like the storyline was so cohesive. Like, to me, I don't think there were holes. Like I understood everything that happened in the film, happened in the movie. And one aspect that I love is that, of course, he paid tribute to Chadwick, but he didn't overdo it. And going in, that was my big thing. I was like, of course we miss Chadwick. We appreciate him being the very first Black superhero on like a major picture, big screen. And of course we want to see him appreciated, but we don't want to take away from the movie. And I love the fact that they threw that in the beginning, and they threw it in where it needed to be, and it wasn't oversaturated. And that, I feel like that's very hard to do. Absolutely. Because especially in this time period, everybody knows like tugging on heartstrings makes a movie great. And I feel like he tugged just enough to keep me still in it. Like, I like the fact that there were moments where I was like, oh, my heart. And then it's like the next scene, I'm like, oh, okay. Let me get myself together. Hold on, something going on. Oh, we gotta fight. You know what I mean? So shout out to Ryan Coogler because he wrote the hell out this script.
It makes me wonder if the queen was gonna die in the original. Did they say?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I did read.
But I don't know about the comics, so
okay.
I did read that when Angela read that part of the script, she was like, "What's she basically?" She was like, "What you doing?" She was like, "Absolutely." She was like, "These people are not gonna be happy with you." She said, "You will rule the day," and I read that in her voice. You will rule the day.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
She told him
not
that.
Been prepared.
She said, "You will rule the day."
I mean, because that just cuts her out, like unless they have flashbacks of her moving forward, like in addition
which I can
the
see.
Next episode,
the new ancestral plane.
What you say?
The new ancestral plane, because it's like a woman Black Panther. So it's like whenever that scene, whenever she goes, "Show them who you are, Shuri." Oh my god, that made me want to cry right now. That scene was so powerful though. But I think that's gonna be like how they were gonna bring her back in that plane. Where she's now like the lead of the new female Black Panthers.
Yeah.
I was screaming. I was like, "No, don't show them who you are. Kill that motherfucker." I really think in the third movie that they're gonna have beef again, like with the water people, because they tried to make it seem like it was kind of like manipulative. They was like, "No, America's gonna be after Wakanda, and Wakanda's gonna get blamed for like everything that's happened, and we're gonna be like cool." So I really think they're gonna be up to some shit. I think they yielded for now. But like they're not gonna.
Oh yeah, especially that last thing Namor said. Like they gonna need us.
Yeah.
Well, not to go like into comics because I really don't read comics, but I know some of the story. And honestly, there's an uprising with Attuma and Namora against like Namor, like for the throne. Mm-hmm. And I think you can kind of go from this conversation when she was not happy how like you yielded to them. And so it's kind of like they're not putting him, he's not Ku Klux Klan anymore, the guy that they saw him as. And I mentioned this yesterday. I'm glad I was listening because I thought he was saying Ku Klux Klan at first. I was like, hold on, he the what?
Baby, when he dropped that first one, I
he
said,
the who?
Baby, I was, you know, like that meme with Whitney Houston turning around. I was looking back like, if y'all don't rewind that, what did he say?
So I think that is definitely going to be something that, so he may be with them, but they're going to be going, he may have to turn against his own people because they doing too much because they trying to overthrow him.
I know in the comics, Namora is his cousin and she also has wings in her feet. But for some reason, they didn't give her wings in the movie. She's also like was born. They just chose to use his point of view, but they didn't share like her powers. But she was just powerful.
Okay, maybe that comes along later on in a different movie. Possibly.
But I do want to add what Eric said earlier about Namor. I don't think he was the villain. I think when you're getting
who the hell was he?
I think he was like the anti-hero almost, like the person that you assume like, okay, this is the key. Like you said, he ran up on them and was like, I did my half and what's up? You do your half. But I think because he's ostracized himself from the whole world to protect his people, and the last memory or memories of people are what he saw, what they did to his people. I think that was just, it was very like cutthroat, cold, no emotion. Like this has to be done because I'm protecting these group of people. Yeah. But I don't think it was in an intentional villainous way. It was just like protect. But from other perspective, it was like, oh, he's trying to fight.
He lost me when he killed the queen. Well, he didn't necessarily kill her because she did, going out in Black Mother fashion, saving someone else over her. Because she could have saved herself, but she saw Riri and decided to save Riri, which, inevitably went to her drowning. But I wish, because, they had the conversation when Shuri went with him, and she was like, you need to run me my daughter back. Because we're gonna have a problem, and if you don't, then I'm gonna tell everybody else about you. And he's like, if you do that, then I will have to kill you. So when he had that little water bomb, I would have been like, and here's the little tape. I'm gonna click this button here, and your people gonna be all over the news. So throw the bomb if you want to. I'm gonna click this button, and they gonna know y'all here. That's what I would.
That's where he got me. Like that was kind of, I ain't gonna lie to you. Now the queen dying, I ain't gonna lie, I cried. That teared me up. That was the scene. That was probably the biggest scene, honestly, for me. When Shuri came in, was like, I'm like, oh my God. All that, it choked me up, it killed me. But the fact when this man said, "You queen now," I said, "Oh, you a boss."
Namor's a dog.
Hey,
he was dogging them
Wakandans. You had to have balls to say that. He's like, "Why give you time to bury your people? You queen now." Like, he done did something like to help her. I said, I know this man did not just. It was a boss move. And look, let's be very real. Even when it came down to when they were fighting the Wakandians against the what do you call Namor people? Do they have a name?
I can't ever pronounce
the Namars.
Namars.
That's what I'm gonna call them. His people. Hey, Wakanda was getting worked. I'm telling you, they was getting worked. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for Shuri finally showing some what's the word? Remorse, I guess. Not remorse. What's the word I'm looking for? Some I don't know. She let that man live. Doing that, Wakanda would have been.
Hey, them water bombs those water bombs must be the most powerful thing ever, because them water bombs were flooding the whole city.
Give me some vibranium and some water bombs. Ain't nobody messing with me. I need a 2-pack. I got the vibranium on the left and the water bomb on the right. Mess with me if you want to.
I don't know which one of they guys gave them that vibranium, but something's in their vibranium that they ain't having Wakanda. Because they vibranium different. Listen, going back when they went to go get Riri and Okoye had to fight Atuma, she held her own. I'm not gonna lie. Okoye did what she had to do, and she held her own. But
that's my girl.
Then people came back after they should have been done. I don't know how they was coming back. I don't know if I missed it. I need to look that up, because they did come back to life pretty much. Like, how y'all
they did that? Because I was like, what you know?
Because I would have been like, dang. I was like, nah, I know Okoye bad, but she can't keep going on like this.
Right.
And but when she had to fight, and he knocked on the ground, because I felt that. Did anybody else knee hurt when she got slammed up against that thing? I was like, Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I just so this popped in my head just now when you were saying that about the trailer. I don't know how y'all kept up with the trailers when they were releasing them, but I think Ryan Coogler has had done a great job about concealing the storyline.
Yeah, for sure.
When a lot of trailers in the last year, you can tell the whole movie based on the trailer. But that scene, whenever the queen is like, "Have I not given you everything,
baby?"
I would never have imagined it was to exiling and like taking her rank. Like, that shit was like, oh my God, mama.
She better get an Oscar for that scene alone, man.
Oh, also in the beginning, I thought when she was like, "I know what you're thinking. Black Panther is dead. Now is our time to strike." I thought that was gonna be into Namor and to his people, because I'm like, that's what I thought when looking through the trailer. I'm like, oh, so she's talking about them in the council. That's why I'm thinking she's there with the Wakandans. Like, they probably thinking that we ain't got nobody, so now they can sit up and attack us, but it be the Americans and the French and everybody else trying to, thinking they slick. That was probably about the coldest thing when she's like, y'all, she had this speech, and then they just lift up the thing, and it's the the door of Malahi in that thing, and they bring them in. She bring them in. And she's like, consider this an act of aggression. And this is grace. Pretty much like, I'm going to let y'all know this one time. And this is about all the mercy you're going to get.
That's it.
Right. Because next time you're going to mess around and find out.
Right.
That scene alone should give her an Oscar.
100%.
Yes.
We're going to wrap this up here in a minute, but we just going to have a quick second. Wait, you want to say something, Kiki?
Yeah, I just had a question, because it stayed with me ever since I saw the movie. What was the significance of them of Wakanda wanting to protect the scientist when they really could have killed her or whatever? What was the significance of that, or what was the point of it? I love that they did not kill her. That it was almost like, no, there ain't gonna be no black on black crime here.
It's because she was black. It's because she was black.
To be gifted in black.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I love,
especially, go ahead, Eric.
Real quick, that when she said that to be young, gifted, and black, that's what Chadwick said in one of his speeches in real life.
Yep.
And so he added that in there in that scene.
That is so.
I love that he did
sweet.
that.
I will say, I feel like Shuri and Riri are such similar, somewhat characters where, hey, they're super young, but they're the smartest in their smartest, youngest people in the world. And so I think Shuri might have saw herself in Riri, was like, hey, we're going to bat for her. after we get this girl, I actually see her, interact with her. Like, we can't let Namor get her.
It touched my heart that they protected her the whole time. Oh,
like from
please do not let these people kill her off.
Even Queen Ramonda, like I said, she could have let her drown, like to get back to.
She was the reason her daughter disappeared.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was a great point that you brought up. Like Eli, like it was, she saw herself in her, and because I feel like if they would have put up on, because they were surprised when they saw her. I mean, if they would have put up some old white man, just to be frank, they probably like get in the back of this, just beat him, knock them over the head, put him back in the truck, and take
You're
him
out of here. Here's Namor, throw him into the ocean.
Clearly, but they saw her, they're like, oh no, and she was like, "You built this, you created this," and she got to thinking, hold on. You can help us out over here at Wakanda. Okay.
Right.
You my sis. So
exactly that.
But it just goes to like our bond as people in our culture too. Is like we don't be knowing people. They didn't know each other from Adam or Eve. And it was almost immediate that they had a connection and a relationship. And it just kind of built from there. So I absolutely loved it to see their genius play off of each other and see that helped how she was able to help save them from sudden death because they were gonna die. Like y'all said, the Toka clan, whatever they was gonna whoop their behinds. And if not for,
I think they were excellent in the comedic relief moments, especially with the movie and dealing with all the heaviness that the movie carried. Like she was dealing with anger, like she was mad. Like it almost feels like she was dealing with all the steps of grief or death.
She was
like that, because the movie started with death. But then at the end in the extra scene, it's a little boy and it's like a brand new life.
Why we ain't got there yet? But there you go.
But he also came out at the beginning too, if you notice.
Yeah.
Yes.
What the little boy thing did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, when the queen. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, when Queen Ramonda, when she realized, when Shuri was gone, she's like, I need somebody that's gonna go with my daughter because there ain't nobody capable of helping her, but. Lupita Nyong'o, I can never remember her character's real name in the movie, but Lupita, her character, when she went to go visit her in Haiti, the boy was there.
Okay,
because she knew about her.
Okay, I didn't put two and two together that was the grandchild that she was going to go visit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, honestly, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but I think she found out about the kid at that visit. Because if y'all notice during the movie, because the blip happened and Lupita was pregnant during that blip moment. And so it's already sad to even think about that T'Challa missed 5 years of his kid's life because he was gone. But when she got back, she said, she told Shuri, she's like, I need to tell you something about your brother. And I think that, of course, is what it was. So I think when she went to go, get her help, I think she was like, okay, like I need to tell you, this and this and this and that. But anyways, skipping past that sad moment, I just have to input this little thirst moment because y'all know that's what we do. And when I tell you, when good old Michael B. Jordan popped up on that screen, he was at these little events and stuff, and I was like, why he showing up like he in front of the camera like he in a movie? Like, we all know he was in the first one, Killmonger. We know he was in the first one, and we know he died at the end. But I was just like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, are they gonna bring him back? Is he gonna try to come back from the Pride Rock and be like, okay, I need to come back? And I don't even know. I thought he was gonna rise up or something. But I thought he was about to rise up, but baby, when they pinned that camera around and I know everybody was in there holding their breath because they're like, who we about to see? Because at first I was thinking it was the queen, but I saw like, oh, that's clearly a man. So I was like, do they have a scene with Chadwick? So that was my thought. I said, this is either Chadwick or the daddy. It didn't even cross my mind at that moment that it was going to be Killmonger. When he said, what's up, cuz? Oh, baby, the way what do you call it? The water bomb just rushed out of me when I saw that scene.
The who? The what?
And on that note, no.
The water bomb, baby.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, we got to put this thirst in her. Michael B. Jordan looks so good, and he had them laundry. Ooh. I'm telling you, it was a shot, and I'm glad they put it in there. And the writing was amazing because, I can't remember which one of y'all mentioned it, but as Shuri was going through all these different stages of grief, he appealed to the anger, the revenge part of her. And because in that moment, that's where her mindset was, I think that's why he was the one that visited her in that moment. If she was on that, I guess in that spot of forgiving, it would have been T'Challa, right? But because she was ready to fight, she was ready to, her mom had passed away. She was ready to fight somebody. She was ready to kill somebody. Who else is the most revengeful person in the Wakanda universe but Killmonger? So the fact that they threw that in there, I feel like that was great writing. I love that scene.
A twist.
So the ancestral plane make your hair grow?
Listen, Reese, why I say that? I said I need to go hit this ancestral plane up for a minute because the man's new growth was new growth then. You hear me?
I said, please, was y'all's theater super shocked that it was him? People were gasping.
Yes.
Yeah,
because he came on with such a
We got a round of applause in ours.
Yeah, we got some claps and gasps in ours.
I don't know why, but I hate when people clap in theaters, but all other noise I love. All other reactions. The clapping is too much.
I don't like the clapping either. Because then we missed what they be talking about in the 2 or 3 seconds that follow.
I could do a clap or two or whatever, but I'll add extra and y'all doing it too long. Stop. You're doing too much. But overall, this movie for me was a good 10. What's up, Kiki?
I had a question real quick before we give our ratings. At the very end of the movie, when the first credits started to roll, how many people stood up at the end of you guys' thing? And what was the ratio of people who stood up to leave?
Oh, we had a good audience. The one I went to, everybody knew what the deal was.
Okay,
so everybody sat down. I don't think I saw one person get up.
Child, I seen this whole row. I'm like, y'all getting up and all right, y'all gonna miss something.
They showed it. Marvel expert, but she done seen 3 Marvel movies.
People are getting tired of those post-credit scenes, though. It's
I wish they would just put it in the beginning.
I was gonna say, don't drag me, but when that shit ended, I got the fuck up.
Because not real.
Because for most of them, you have to sit 5 minutes rolling, reading. I don't want to do that. Just do the scene and
just put it and let us go. Come on.
That theater was packed. And I'm very impatient, and I was not about to be. I hate waiting.
And baby, everybody be looking at you too. You
I was like, bye, I'm out.
Yeah, Marvel crew is so judgy.
They surprised us with throwing it in the mid-credit scene rather than putting it in post-credit. And I looked it up. I was like, oh, ain't no post-credit? All right, I'm dipping.
Everybody in my theater though thought it was a post-credit. Remember, I was at the movies, y'all. I didn't even go to the movies till midnight. I text Eric. I said, Eric, how many credit scenes are there? Because he had saw it Thursday and I was watching it Friday. And he said it's only one. I was like, oh, bet. And then I got my stuff to get up. Steve was like, where you going? I said, Eric said it's only one. He's like, all right, bet. And so we getting up. Everybody looking at me like it's gonna be another one. I'm like, I got access. It's only one. Right. So, but I was ready. I was ready to see them post-credit scenes.
I wish there was another one.
I'm just interested. Carisi, I'm cracking up. I'm just interested because Ryan already said he ain't really thought about no Black Panther 3. So I'm not even sure if it's gonna be. I mean, we can assume.
Last I read, they already confirmed it's a third one.
Oh, because he had mentioned he ain't started thinking about it.
I was about to say, they set it up for her to challenge that one dude for Black Panther.
They let him be king. She left.
No, yes, Shuri let him do that.
Yeah, and Baku, he came
because he came off the Panther jet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Baku in this film.
Oh, he's the leader of
and Baku's king, but not Black Panther.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's also gonna be doing Secret Wars. He's directing.
I don't know what that is, but I did hear about it.
Ryan Coogler is directing Secret Wars. Oh, it's gonna be good then.
I didn't know he was directing it. Oh, definitely going to go see that then.
Who do y'all think is the Scroll?
The Scroll?
Yeah, it's like this thing where someone takes somebody's identity. The little green people from
Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel,
Yeah, Captain Marvel and WandaVision. It was like a post-credit scene. They were there too for WandaVision.
That was with Samuel L.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know who them people was, so I have no idea. I don't even know the gist of the storyline.
How she always talking somebody ain't a true fan, but how you didn't know that's what they do? If you would have seen Captain Marvel, you would know.
Captain Marvel, I just didn't know who they was.
Captain Marvel was boring.
I do know the green people. I just don't know who they is.
Chat like 50 times. It had now. I will say this: she has the best origin story, but as far as her movie, it's so boring and so much exposition, and it happens in the 90s. How do you set a movie in the 90s, but it's not exciting or fun? I mean,
I do feel like I wouldn't call Captain Marvel like boring, but out of a lot of them, it dragged a little bit.
I forget about
it. They could have cut out 38 minutes of that movie.
But speaking on back to Black Panther real quick, y'all know the rumor and how people this terrible take about how they pushing the agenda, they pushing the men out of the films and they making the women at the forefront. First of all, these women held it down and then some for this film. Like they were phenomenal, but it's also like, did you not see M'Baku? Did you not see freaking Killmonger come back from the grave into the ancestral plane? Did you not see M'Baku become king of Wakanda? Like how?
People aren't even seeing the movie. Like a lot of people had that idea before anyway, that it was like, it's all about Shuri now. Like who cares? I feel like the movie was pretty balanced in terms of the characters and the plot line. Like and to be honest, it was a lot. They had to introduce a new character, or several new characters, Namor and Riri Williams, and give Shuri more screen time. And for all that, like that's
hard to do.
Plotline.
And it made it work cohesively. Yes.
And even if it was an agenda, they did it well. Exceptionally well.
Yes. Shout out to Ryan Coogler for sure. I don't know. Anything Ryan Coogler direct, I'm watching. I'm gonna just put it at that.
I just love that he do. He
does it unapologetically black when he does.
Wait, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think Michael B. Jordan can act? Yes or no?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. You don't think he can act?
I'm sorry. Wait, let me re-ask. Do you think he can act well? Is the question.
now don't call out one or two scenes from the first Black Panther.
Yes.
Because I've seen Chronicle, I've seen Creed, I've seen Fruitvale Station. Let's not think about that.
Listen, I'm gonna take it even further back. I've seen Friday Night Lights, so
that's where I first saw him. Friday Night Lights.
Was he on Friday Night Lights? That was Smash Williams. Y'all think about Parenthood?
No, he was on there. He was on Friday Night Lights.
He was on there. He was on like the later.
He was dating that white girl
before they canceled that. It was like 5 or 6.
I feel like we've seen him. Now, is he like the best? Is he Denzel Washington? No. But do I put him in Young Hollywood's best actors? I wouldn't put him at the top, but I do think he's a good actor. I do think if somebody sees he's the lead in a movie, people are going to go see it. I feel like he's been in different genres, so I feel like he has shown some range.
Come on, range.
I don't think he has like like a Denzel Washington range, but that man got range. I've seen him do a little comedy. He's done the superhero. I didn't like him X-Men, but that's a movie. That whole movie was terrible.
X-Men. You mean Fantastic Four?
I mean Fantastic Four. Yes, that was
trash.
Look, we don't even talk about that one. That whole movie.
I love that movie. I don't get why people hate that movie so much.
That one, anyway. The first one was cool, but that one was terrible. But Fruitvale Station, Creed, and he really did surprise me. Honestly, my favorite role from Michael B. Jordan is Killmonger. I feel like he played the villain well.
He did do well.
And I think a lot of people give Michael B. Jordan, because honestly, to me, on social media, I didn't even see the Michael B. Jordan slander until he started dating white women. And so when he started dating white women, look, I'm being real. And when it came out, he was dating all them white girls. Everybody was like, F Michael B. Jordan. But
no, y'all messed him up trying to push him as a sex symbol. Y'all should just let that man be and quit trying to put him there.
What do you mean? How can we put that?
Let that man be a sex symbol.
Everybody would a lot of people disagree with you. That's
why
they
can disagree.
In the flames.
Cool.
I just think he's been
more room in the bed for me.
I think Harry Styles is attractive. Let's be honest.
I just think Michael B. Jordan's been like memeified, like for me, I grew up with like big teeth. Like I had an overbite, and whenever I would like smile, like or cry, it looked like I was laughing. And with
big teeth, I'm sorry, you talking about Amen. What?
No, I'm saying like he has big
Michael B. Jordan got big teeth.
He's always like smiling and like super like I don't know like
he got Steve Harvey teeth.
Like, he just has like
does
mean
his teeth in his acting. Like what's the girl from Scandal, Kerry Washington? She does a lot of teeth and mouth acting.
Oh, Kerry Washington is terrible.
How he is.
Baby, I don't need his teeth. What I need him for, I don't need his teeth.
Anyways, final rankings.
Finally, let's wrap it on back. Take it all back. What does Eric do? So
what's your finals rating?
Your rating, yeah. Out of 10. I'll give it a 9 because I'm mad they killed off the queen.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. Favorite Phase 4 movie. Favorite movie I've seen this year.
Hold on, Phase 4. What's above it in the whole thing? You talking about Phase 4, just narrowing it down?
My mind don't work. I can't think. I don't know of any other movies, but I know of this past Phase 4 since it started. Favorite thing I watched.
I agree. Phase 4, because this movie does end Phase 4, and for me, solid 9 for sure. Probably 9.5 on the cool. I'm gonna just give it an extra 0.5 because it's black people. So they get an extra black vote. No Way Home would be second. But yes, Wakanda Forever, 9.5. Definitely my number one in this phase for sure.
I want to add commentary to my 10, and I think it's more so on a personal level, just because I feel like, Ryan Coogler is so good at directing a movie and passion in the film. But he's really bringing up topics that are very like for us, like you're all black. I'm Mexican, and for me,
and what about it?
No, so you going back to telling all this to the Token Clan people.
I feel like this is a great way to introduce how our cultures can be more united and powerful. Not powerful
for sure.
To dominate, but powerful to equalize and to really present ourselves, because it was beautiful to see like that side of Mexico, the Mayan culture on the big screen. And like, that's why I say I don't think he's the villain. I think maybe he's gonna resonate with Shuri, and it's gonna be the opposite. Like maybe in his own standalone movie he'll have his thing, but I think because it was so personal to me with the mourning and the grief, that's why I give it a 10.
So do you feel like the movie was culturally accurate as far as Namor and them?
Oh yeah, I think because that's the thing for me. Like I'm so passionate about speaking Spanish that I consider perfecting my Spanish, like connecting myself to my roots. And this movie actually made me realize that I learned my colonizer's language, and I'm passionate about Spanish that's not even my actual people's language.
The colonizers.
Wow.
So for me, it's like now I want to educate myself, not only for my own personal roots, but in my own personal experience. Like I've told y'all before, a lot of my close friends that held me up were black people. Like my own people disregarded me in some points in my life. So be able to see like that, even though they didn't actually come to terms, because each time like Namor was like, she really needs to die though. Like this is why she needs to die. I brought the sun to my people. Like
right.
It was still like she was also standing her ground. And I think when we both look each other eye to eye, it's like so many more like that keep us together. Like all the flashbacks on both ends, it showed that we have all similar backgrounds, but it was like a unifying for me, because now I want to learn about my culture and what came before Spanish,
It's very beautifully said, man. It's very beautifully said.
I love y'all. Thank you.
We love you too, amen. We love you too.
Jazz, your rankings.
What Beyonce said.
She said a lot of stuff.
Tip on hardwood floors. 10s across the board. I don't know. It was.
Yep. I'm with you.
It was good. I was very entertained, like from beginning to end. I didn't even know the movie was 3 hours. Like when I went to sit with Camille because we was on vacation. I was like, wait, I thought it was like a 3-hour movie. It felt like an hour. So I just like a movie that has a good storyline and can entertain you.
Like pace as well.
Yeah. So I really like that.
For sure. Eli, Eli, you already gave yours. Reese or Eli, one of y'all.
I'm gonna give it about a 10 out of 10. It was an excellent movie. It wasn't even just a good Marvel movie. It was a good movie, period. Like it's dealing with all these deep, these deeply thematic things, touching on grief, touching on culture, touching on legacy. Like, man, that was just a great movie. I saw it twice. Okay. 2 times. Had to.
And that's where I'm at too. I did say 10. If I had to be critical, I would say a 9.5 as well, because I still need to know how when Okoye took them people down and they came back to life. They didn't explain that, and so I need
maybe some of that is comic book lore. I really don't know about that much about his people. Like, the only thing I really know about Namor is like that he has a huge crush on Sue Storm. So I've been waiting years for this like little storyline to come out. But he's like white in the comics though. So, but a good change. So, yeah,
that's the only thing that I would take some points off, because like y'all didn't clarify that. I need to know how they rose from the dead in 2.5 seconds.
I would like to have that story explained more.
But maybe they'll talk about that in Namor's own movie. But other than that, it really was a 10 like movie across the board, like just like Reese just said, across the board, not just Marvel, but just movie in general. And I will watch it again and again and again and again.
Hundo.
Thank you, everyone, for your rankings or ratings. As I mentioned before at the beginning of the episode, this is our Friendsgiving episode, and I just want to take the time to thank you all, everyone here on the panel, for joining us. I also want to take the time to thank all of the listeners and the viewers and those who have stuck with us since day one. We appreciate you. We couldn't do this without you. So we're thankful.
Merry Christmas.
You still on Christmas tomorrow?
Yeah, Thanksgiving starts at midnight. It's 11:22 p.m. right now.
So you on?
So technically, it's Christmas, and we take a break from midnight to about 6 p.m. and then it turns back into Christmas. That's how it works.
Okay,
exactly.
That's how it goes. Huh?
Merry Christmas.
Anyone else have any final words for our listeners for this episode?
This is our Friendsgiving episode, and I'm just thankful for each and every one of you.
Support Black bloggers.
Y'all all great listeners, everyone in this chat right here. Very appreciative. And to those listening, have a great Thanksgiving. To all of us, have an amazing Thanksgiving.
Yay. I hope don't nobody get food poisoning. And I hope don't nobody try nothing new.
Look, like I was
don't be trying nothing new. Don't be trying nothing new. It's Thanksgiving. You want to try something new? Do that next Thursday.
Oh, and I have a reel and a TikTok. Do not post y'all plates. We don't want to see y'all food. Grandma, big mama, uncle. We don't want to see because it looks nasty.
Josh already got the flash on ready.
It's nasty. It looks nasty.
I'm gonna be posting my mama's cooking, and you just gonna have to be mad about it.
I know that's right. Post it.
Don't y'all post, listeners. Don't y'all post.
Eric a hater when he can't boil noodles.
Eric, I'm gonna mail you a picture of my mama's cooking. How about that?
I don't care who could. Big mama cook it, uncle, whoever could cook it. It ain't gonna look good when it get in the plates. When it's in those pans, it's fine. But when it get on them plates, it's something about them plates.
I hope Josh picks you a Secret Santa, and I hope he sends you a plate.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
And it'll be his last Secret Santa.
Oh my God!
Congratulations, you
back
have
to
Thanksgiving leftovers. Oh my God!
I also want to say thank you, Tarky, before you wrap up.
Yes,
to all of y'all, and just being invited and included in this. It's been such a rough year for me, and it's so good to be able to like see your faces, hear your voices, and just talk about stuff that I love. And I mean, Survivor is like kind of there, but y'all are so awesome. So, and the viewers, hey, we made it. That's it.
Once again,
thank you, viewers. You guys might not know this, but I'll be joining a panel season 6 as like a host. I was contracted, I signed the deal,
it's a good thing season 6 ain't till 2028. Nigga, we on season like 2.
Look, this is Jeopardy. What is a lie?
How about season 6?
It says season 5 episode.
We're on season 5 right now.
Oh, look at me wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I want to plug something. Shout out to the baby I'm cooking. I'm gonna put my address in the comments so y'all can send me some pampers. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. And Josh, you didn't have anything you want to any of you guys. Where can we find you, Josh, Amen, Eli, Josh?
You're at
You can find me on Twitter at @NoChillJosh_. You can also follow my org at @TheDivide.org.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Shoot, y'all know I don't tweet nothing. Y'all don't need to follow me nowhere. y'all do great though. I'll be looking, but y'all don't need to follow me. I'm chilling.
Eli said, "Don't follow me nowhere." Oh, he's so real.
I agree with Eli. I just be dragging people on Twitter 24/7. You don't want to see that.
I'm saying if y'all want to be part of my universe, just my ad is Eamon's universe. So
okay, Eamon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we've made it to the end of the episode.
All right.
We appreciate you, and until next time, bye.
We'll see y'all next year.
Bye.
Not just playing. That'll be next week.